The last episode looked at supermarkets, whereas we still stay with shops for this edition. However, these shops barely sell any groceries, and they are mainly a part of the high street, in a comparison to the supermarket, which these days tend to be out of town. However, many of these stores do have big out-of-town premises, and one of those we will look into is John Lewis. And I feel when discussing a Christmas advert on British TV these days, it will be inappropriate not to include John Lewis, as the most important advert of the whole Christmas period seems to be that of John Lewis. And this year they have finally brought out an advert after so many years which can be up there with Monty the Penguin. However, that effort from 2014 with this penguin is still my favourite John Lewis advert of all of them which have been on offer. However, this advert is much better than last year's. Again, John Lewis has used a cover of a non-Christmas song, so they have gone back to covers after last year using an original song, whilst they based it on the artist who did the original song, that being Elton John. The song in use is REO Speedwagon's Can't Fight This Feeling, which is covered by Dan Smith of Bastille fame. The song fits in well with the story of a dragon known as Edgar, who is struggling to control his pepper breath, which is ruining the fun for everyone in this snowy village. After melting ice rinks and burning down the decorations, he then makes it up to everyone as he, with his baby flame, comes to everyone's help, to the surprise of everyone's initially scared faces. By doing this, he lights up the Christmas pudding, which I assume is from Waitrose, as this also functions as an advert for Waitrose. I would say that this advert is very Nordic, thus adding to the festive nature. John Lewis is very much a successful department store with a long history, but we will now look at another department store with a long history, yet with little in the way of success in the present day. And that is Debenhams, who have a very Christmassy advert this year, and it is better than last year, but it seems a bit simple compared to John Lewis, but this could be down to budget issues. Last year, it was a comedic advert for Debenhams, and the theme of that advert was, I've finally found a present for them, which comes to them out of the blue to the sound of Star by Kiki D, which is nothing to do with Christmas, rather a late 80s talent show on the BBC. But this year, some people who might be famous or just in this advert, I don't know, are parading with presents you can buy from the department store. One person who I am familiar with is a breakfast radio host who is Fleur East, who sings the song Size, which seems to be going for the Lizzo vibes. We have heard Fleur's music before in a Christmas advert, and that was 2015's Christmas advert for Asda. This advert is more showing off the store's convenience, which probably reflects the store's current fortunes. And with this, it is hard for them to compete with John Lewis, as only these days supermarkets or online retailers who are actually seen as convenient to many a present buyer can pit their weight against John Lewis. Debenhams and John Lewis are department stores, whilst there is another type of store which we need to focus on, and that is the store based around the humble catalogue, and this is best epitomised by Argos. Argos started out in the 1970s as a catalogue store and was the first shop-at-home service way before the internet. However, you still needed to go into the store and collect your item. But what made its stores different to the others is that you could not physically touch the products, rather you had to view them on a piece of paper. I have mentioned this advert in this year's Identity Crisismas, due to it having a non-Christmas song. It feels more of an advert for just the Argos catalogue, which makes sense, but it could hamper the chances of going all out Christmas by doing this. Therefore, the focus on the catalogue alone takes away the festive feel. As a Christmas advert, I do not like it, as it really doesn't fit the purpose for being a Christmas advert. But it is all not bad, as it would work well for a regular Argos advert. This advert is similar to last year's John Lewis advert, as the guy in the advert can fulfil his dreams of being a musician, like Elton John could in the John Lewis one, as you can get a drum kit through the Book of Dreams and become a rock star. The only thing Christmassy in this one would be that it is supposed to be set at Christmas. I do like it on the end where they are on the stage, which is made up of washing machines and giant teddies jump into the crowd, which seems to show what else you can buy from the catalogue. One thing I mentioned in my video on idents was the use of a Simple Minds song, which would make a good song for Argos to use all year round and thus make the song more enjoyable for me all year round without it being exclusive to Christmas. And Argos could do with replacing their Fits and Tantrums song, as they have used it for the last 5 years now. Argos once upon a time had a competitor, and that was Littlewoods, which now exists in a different form, that being an online store. Littlewoods became defunct in 2004, but then it was revived by Shop Direct in a merger, which revived the name as an online retailer only, which is now under the name very.co.uk. Shop Direct also did revive the Woolworths name and some of their store sub-brands in 2009 after the High Street store went under earlier that year. Over the last few years, Very's adverts have been based around Disney-esque animations, all at Christmas, with stories about how the store can provide you with your dream Christmas. This year they have kept with the same aesthetic, yet they have based it on the power of giving, thus focusing on the street. However, they have jumped on the cover a pop song bandwagon by the use of a cover of a Rudimental song, yet give the song a more festive touch. This advert shows the power of caring and sharing, and that there is a present for everyone this Christmas. The Christmas scene does well at adding a festive nature to it. Just like Very, this episode has gone from high street to catalogue to online, therefore it acts as a social history of shopping and how appropriate to do that. We have gone from the traditional high street to the catalogue to the most recent phenomena that is the internet. The company who have revolutionised shopping in the new millennium have been Amazon, and they tend to have an advert which is exclusive to Christmas, which tends to use regular 70s music, sung by The Boxes. These adverts are great and should probably be used all year round, with Christmas variants having The Boxes singing Christmas songs instead. But at least the way they do it at present helps with the longevity of this campaign into the future. This is what the online giant has done for the last 2 years now. I do love the singing Boxes, who this year join in with the humans. At least the visuals are very good, especially when it comes to Christmas visuals. This advert does well in showing the functions of a company and by showing how convenient the service from Amazon is. I can't think whether this is better than last year or the year before, as each year's one has been as good as each other's. One thing we use to buy things is a credit card, and they are seen as the saviour of a high street to keep those like John Lewis or Argos relevant, or in this case with this advert, the small shop. Last year, Visa gave me my favourite Christmas advert of last year, where a group of small business owners from up and down the UK gave a rendition of All I Want for Christmas Is You. But this year they have used Queen, who have seemed to be ubiquitous this year, mainly due to the success of the biopic film Bohemian Rhapsody. Do watch it, it is good. This is basically no different to last year, but after seeing what supermarkets have cooked up, I would not put this on top of my advert tree. The song does fit in well with the slogan of showing your high street some love. Maybe if the high street had so much love, that would help M&S, but under any circumstances, they are responsible for how good their own adverts are, especially in my opinion. As for me, they only seem to care about Christmas jumpers, and this advert is barely one of my favourites this year. Great song though, but doesn't mean anything in this case. To conclude, John Lewis has their best effort for years, which is always good to see, a campaign which is supposed to be the most important of a festive season with its big launch, and it shows Argos how to make an ad look Christmassy. The adverts from the retail stores seem to be good, and I do like the fact that Very are keeping up with their tradition of using cartoons at Christmas, which still look really amazing. And maybe this shows that huge and notable campaigns in advertising by big companies, such as the singing Boxes and storytelling, are now exclusive to Christmas. and would not fit a purpose outside of a festive period. Fuss makes the end of the year even more exciting. I am Tim Goodwin, over and out, wishing you to take care this Christmas and for peace in the new year.